The earthquake in Armenia and Alaska, the Whittier Narrows quake in Southern California, and most recently the great 6.9 San Francisco quake should be telling all of us to prepare ourselves and our family now. The following video can assist you with that preparation. View it at least 3 times per year with your entire family. Follow the advice given and start to prepare today. Because most earthquakes take place within 6 miles of the surface, quite often smaller quakes aren't even noticed. Some of them are mistaken for the rumbling noise of heavy trucks and construction equipment. To some of you who have experienced tremors, the sounds are familiar. The sounds of rattling windows, squeaking lumber, the slow buildup of rolling earth like the ocean waves before it breaks. As the vibration intensifies, so does the feeling of total helplessness and terror because the very ground beneath us is no longer secure. It is not always advised to run to a doorway. In the Whittier Narrows quake, people were injured by swinging doors or injured trying to reach the door. They would have been safer to drop, cover, and hold right where they were. Devastating earthquakes can and do happen all over the world, but here in the United States we can greatly reduce fatalities by being prepared, and that can start with understanding earthquakes themselves. According to the plate tectonics theory, the surface of the Earth is made up of rigid plates which move slowly past one another horizontally. The horizontal motion of these plates squeezes and stretches huge rocks at the edge of the plains. When the force becomes great, the rocks rupture and shift, causing violent motions of the Earth's surface. Sometimes they cause huge sea waves that sweep up over the land, destroying everything in their path. These ruptures are called faults. Most of these faults lie beneath the surface, but some are visible, like the San Andreas Fault in California. The energy released in an earthquake travels away from the fault in waves. These seismic waves originate from the focus, or place where the rupture begins. Seismic vibration waves spread outward much like the waves of a water drop. These waves consist of compressional, shear, and surface waves. Compressional waves create side-to-side movements, which are really sound waves, traveling approximately 5 miles per second. The rocks vibrate in the direction traveled by the wave, causing the rocks to change volume. Shear waves, on the other hand, travel about half as fast as compressional waves, vibrating at right angles to the direction traveled by the wave, causing an up and down or vertical motion. Surface waves travel slightly slower than shear waves. They are contained on the Earth's surface in the same way that ocean waves are limited to the surface of the sea. Seismic waves created by an earthquake are strongest at the epicenter, which is the point on the surface directly above the focus. General preparation. How knowledgeable are you in the event of an earthquake, and just how prepared are you? The following information is designed to help you prepare yourself and your family during and following an earthquake emergency. During an emergency, one of the most important and difficult things to remember is to remain calm. By staying calm, you can increase your chances of survival tremendously. Check your local directory for the nearest emergency center and map out the shortest and easiest route to it. Keep in mind that in case of an actual disaster, many streets will be closed due to falling debris and accidents. So in your plan, be sure to include alternate routes. In an emergency, such as an earthquake, the biggest fear is losing contact with loved ones. Assuming that your residence is destroyed, establish a mutual meeting place with your family, preferably at your local school, church, or community center. Remember, local phone lines may be out for 3 or 4 days. Therefore, one of the best ways for a family to keep in contact if separated is to carry an out-of-state number of a friend or relative that they can all check in with if need be. Begin your preparation by taking first aid and CPR at your local Red Cross facilities. You and your family may be the only medical resource available for hours, so be prepared. Know where your gas, electrical, and water shutoff valves are located. Know how to turn them off. You should cooperate with your neighbors and walk through the surrounding properties. Electrical main panels are easily found by following the electrical wiring from the street poles to the house. Water shutoff valves are always in front of the property by the street. They are 12 to 18 inches underground, covered or boxed in by cement or metal covers. Gas valves are more difficult but always accessible. Look for the gas meter first. Once you locate it, look for a pipe coming out of the ground. The valve is located between the meter and the ground. If you live in an apartment building or condominium, you should talk to the manager regarding their procedures during an earthquake. Because there are so many individual gas and water valves, it's going to be difficult to find the proper ones to shut off. Home awareness and preparation. There are many useful hints to help you safeguard your home and family. We'll go over some of these precautions in the following segment. Let's begin with securing all objects on the wall. Pictures and mirrors should be hung by screws which are placed into studs themselves and not just through the plaster. Heavy wall mirrors are especially dangerous and should be secured through the frame of the mirror directly into the studs of the wall. Bookcases can be secured with 90-degree brackets. First find the stud above the bookcase, then place 2 screws, one in the wall and the second on the top shelf. If you have hanging plants, place them away from the windows and mirrors. Use solid hooks on the ceiling studs. Also, check the decorative cord that supports the plant. If they look weak, replace with a strong wire. Kitchen cabinets should have latches to prevent dishes and glasses from spilling out and causing serious lacerations. All furniture or appliances that are on casters should either be in a locked position or removed to avoid sliding. Try to place your bed on a solid wall, avoiding windows that could shatter. If the bed must be near a window, then be sure to draw the curtains before bedtime. Bed lamps need to be secured as well. This can be accomplished by placing a ball of liquid silicone sealer on the bedroom cabinet and then placing the flat surface of the lamp on top of it. This allows you to remove the lamp at a later date without damaging your furniture. Keep all exits free of clutter. You should have at least 4 feet of clearance throughout your living quarters. Keep fire extinguishers updated and near the kitchen. Also, keep an extinguisher in your hallway. If you have security bars on the outside of your windows, have release mechanisms installed on the inside, and teach your family members how to operate the release mechanisms. Strap down your water heater. This can be done with metal straps available in your local hardware store. The water heaters should be strapped down on the top and bottom. Again, make sure that the screws are secured into the wall studs. By tying the correct sized wrench to the gas shutoff valve, you are assured of having the right tool in case of a fire. The main gas and water valves are shut off by turning a quarter turn to the right or to the left. If you have an older home without foundation anchor bolts, which tie the house frame to the foundation, install 1 bolt every 4 to 6 feet apart. Your first bolt being 6 to 9 inches away from the corner of the house. Check your roof, air conditioning units, and TV antennas for deteriorating supports. If necessary, replace them with non-rust or galvanized materials. Reinforce all patios and balconies with galvanized T-bars, right angles, or straps. If you have a masonry chimney, nail sheets of plywood around the chimney in the attic. This will prevent the brick from falling through the ceiling plaster and causing injuries. Security is very important to all of us, but sometimes over-securing can be fatal. Check all doors, windows, and attic locks for proper operation, and if need be, replace them accordingly. Individual preparation kit. Each family member should have a kit containing the following items: a flashlight with extra batteries, a transistor radio with extra batteries, a small knife, whistle, needle and thread. Don't forget a can opener, a sturdy pair of shoes, a pair of socks, long sleeve shirt, a sweater, a pair of pants. It is also advisable to have a list of emergency numbers: hospital, fire department, police, friends, and relatives. Place this list in the pocket of the pants which you are storing. This will save much time. These items should be stored in a box and kept under each individual's bed for easy access. Family Preparation Kit. There are several necessities to help ensure your survival. These should be kept aside for easy access and should contain the following: flashlight and batteries, radio and batteries, wrenches for gas, water valves, utility knife and blades, first aid kit and booklet. Any prescribed medicines should be kept up with expiration dates. Fire extinguishers. Piece of nylon rope 10 to 15 feet long can be very handy. Lists of important telephone numbers. Essential medical history information. Example, blood type, drug allergies, blood donors. Portable cooking equipment. Water will become a problem. Have enough drinking water for each family member. A 2-week supply would consist of 2 quarts to 1 gallon each day per family member. Remember to store water in plastic bottles or non-corrosive, tightly covered containers. It's best to use smaller containers than one large one. Clearly mark the containers with a date and keep in a cool, dark place, and discard after a year, restocking again following the same procedure. Food should be purchased and stored. Watch expiration dates on canned food purchased. Be sure you are buying in advance. Some products that are recommended for storage are canned milk, fruit juices, meat, and vegetables, bouillon products, peanut butter, jams and jellies, coffee, tea, sugar. Cereals can be stored if placed in metal containers with screw-on lids. Rice and beans are also good staples to store. Put aside some alcohol and store in plastic bottles to avoid shattering. Your first aid kit should contain the following. You can purchase one at your local store. Be sure it contains all the necessary items: rubbing alcohol, iodine or mercurochrome, Band-Aids small and large, scissors, tweezers and clippers, Q-tips, eye wash. If wearing contacts, be sure to have plenty of saline solution stored, disinfectant, ace bandages, aspirin or pain relievers, anti-fungus ointments, adhesive tape, cotton balls, sponge, tampons, tongue depressors, instant ice packs. Be sure to keep this first aid kit where everyone can reach it and access it easily. Even the smallest child in the family should know where this emergency kit can be found. During an earthquake, first and most importantly, do not panic. Know what to do when an earthquake strikes to protect yourself and others. Speak calmly and stay where you are, and do not attempt to leave the area you are in until the earthquake is over. If you are in an office, get under your desk or sit down in a doorway, bracing yourself with your legs and back. If at home, get under a sturdy table and hold on to the legs, or once again, sit in a doorway, bracing yourself with your legs and back. Move into an inside hallway when able. Steer clear of any objects that could fall. Stay away from windows or skylights. And do not run outside while the earthquake is in progress. You may be hit with falling debris. If you are outdoors, be sure to move away from buildings and power lines and get to an open area that is free from these potentially dangerous objects. If you stay calm, you will think clearly and be aware. If you are driving in a vehicle, just pull over to the side of the road and wait. Do not go over any bridges or under any underpasses. Don't take the chance the bridge or overpass could be damaged or collapse. Stay in your car until the earthquake is over. If you are in a high-rise building, stay where you are. Get under your desk or into a door frame. Do not attempt to leave the building by elevator. The possibility of getting stuck due to power failure is not worth the risk. Don't be frightened if the sprinkler system or the fire alarm should go off. Wait until the earthquake is over and be sure coworkers are not injured. Calmly leave using the stairwell and in single file to avoid panic and confusion. If you are in a crowded place, do not run or rush to an exit. It could create a pileup of people that could result in death and injury. Many lives have been lost unnecessarily due to panic and pileups at exits. Move away from any heavy objects or shelves that may have objects that could fall and injure you. If you are outside in a downtown area with large office buildings, the biggest danger could be falling glass, which can spread out over the streets. It's recommended in this case only to move under a solid shelter. Procedures after an earthquake. After an earthquake, awareness and procedures are more important than the preparation. If you have taken all the precautions we have mentioned through our last segment, you could be safer than you expected. There will be aftershocks, and in most cases, these will not be as strong as the quake that you have just experienced. However, there is always the possibility that some aftershocks could be just as strong as the initial one. Take the time to comfort each other, especially the children. If you remain calm and speak calmly, chances are your children will react the same way. This is not a time to panic. Take a step at a time to check out any injuries. If any injuries are present, use your first aid kit. Be sure you are wearing sturdy shoes. If not, get them and put them on, being cautious of any debris or glass that may surround you. Sit the children in a safe spot and keep reassuring them. Check for gas leaks by smell only. If the odor of gas is present, do not use any open flames, such as candles or matches. Shut off main gas valves at the meter and open all windows so any gas may escape. If able to leave the house, report the leak to the authorities. If you suspect there may be frayed wires or you see sparks, shut off your electrical system. If you have circuit breakers, check first to see if they're off. Circuit breakers shut off automatically in case of an electrical short, so check the position of the breaker before you act. It is best to turn off the main water valve for many reasons, primarily to conserve the water that is already in the water tank and lavatory tank. In case you run out of your water supply or weren't prepared, you can use this water for drinking without fear of contamination. If you don't shut off the main water valve, any contaminated areas that carry your water supply to your home or apartment could pollute the reserve water and cause illness. Once you feel the inside of your home or apartment is safe again and free from impending disaster, check your neighbors and surrounding areas to see if anyone needs assistance. Be aware of any kind of power lines that may have been shaken loose and fallen. Do not touch or step near them. Chances are they are live wires that can cause electrocution. Assist anyone who has not been able to shut off valves or able to check for injuries. If you have dogs or cats, contain them inside so as not to roam the neighborhood. If you have not left your home, start the process of cleaning up. Be very careful when opening cabinet doors. Objects that are breakable could spill out at you and cause injury. If you had any flammable liquid, check for leakage. If so, clean it up immediately. Turn on your battery-operated radio and listen for reports or warnings and follow instructions. If you can't get to your radio or damage has been done to it, use your car radio for information. It is very important to restrict the usage of your telephone. Most of the wires may be down. It is best not to use the phone unless someone in your family or a neighbor needs medical assistance and emergency treatment. Let your family call you to let you know if they are all right. Restrict the usage of your car and listen to traffic reports so you can stay away from traffic congestion. If you were at work when the earthquake struck, it is best to stay where you are. If it is safe, wait until the congestion of the freeways eases up. This will assist medics, police, and all other public safety efforts that will be out assisting the public. If you must evacuate the office or home or apartment, leave a message on the door as to where you're going and how to be reached, so that any family member looking for you will not have cause to worry. Take with you your first aid kit, phone numbers, and your individual kit. You can take extra clothes, blankets, sleeping bags, will all help. Get to your nearest emergency center, public school, or care center. Once there, try to assist any group such as the Red Cross with older victims and children. Long-term survival. Water supply and preservation. Water preservation will become the most important factor in an earthquake. To ensure water purity, close the incoming valve located on the top of the water pipe. Check the cold water pipes first. This is where you will find the main shut-off valve. You should also turn off the water valve by the storage tank. This valve is located under the water tank. Close the valves in your bathroom by turning them to the right. Next, we are going to filter the water and prepare it for drinking. This is done by using a towel or coffee filter. Simply place the towel or coffee filter over a large pot or bottle and pour the water through. Remember to take the water from your water heater and toilet storage tank as soon as possible and filter it and put in bottles. This also will ensure that no member of the family will forget and flush the toilet. Since you have shut off the valves, the storage tank will not refill. Do not reopen the valves if this has occurred, for there may be pollutants in the water you are not aware of that could cause sickness or death. Use only the water from your storage tank, never the water in the bowl itself. Next, drain the water from the water heater. This is done by opening the hot kitchen or bathroom faucet. This will allow the air to enter the water tank and proceed to drain the water tank. The refrigerator is another place to find water. Ice cubes can be melted and used for drinking. We recommend that you leave the ice cubes in the freezer and use them as a last resort for drinking water. Do not open your refrigerator as often. If you use your refrigerator less frequently, it will become an icebox, as in the days before electricity. When it comes to eating, consume the foods that are perishable first. Do not be choosy about menus, just be sure to eat the perishables before the canned goods. This will ensure you're not eating anything that has been sitting for a while and cultivating germs that, upon consumption, will make you ill. Let's discuss water purification. One of the safest ways to purify water is to boil it for 8 to 12 minutes. Then aerate by pouring the water from one container to another a few times. Add a pinch of salt to 1 gallon of water. Another method is to use any household bleach solution containing 5.25% of sodium hydrochloride. Most bleaches contain this amount. Place water in a clear container, add the recommended amount of bleach, which we just gave you, stir well, and let set for 30 minutes. It will then be safe for drinking. The formula to follow is for 1 quart of water, 1/4 gallon. If your water is clear, add 2 drops of bleach. If the water is cloudy, use 4 drops. For 1 gallon of water that is clear, use 10 drops of bleach, and if cloudy, use 16 drops. If you want 5 gallons of water, use 1/2 teaspoon to clear water and 1 teaspoon to cloudy water. If no bleach is available and you have iodine in your first aid kit, this can be used to purify your water also. Use 3 drops of iodine to 1 quart of clear water. 6 drops if your water is cloudy. You can also purchase in advance at your local sporting goods store water purifying tablets, which you can make part of your general preparation kit. Sanitation. Sanitation can and will become a major problem for you and your family. If not handled properly, can cause sickness and spread disease. If you are a camper, you are acquainted with what is called the porta potty. It comes equipped with disposable bags and is small enough to be stored in your general preparation kit. If you do not have this product, be sure to have plastic bags which can be placed inside your toilet. Place the excess bag over the bowl and place the toilet seat over the plastic. This will allow you to use the toilet in a normal way. After each use, fold the bag and seal it tightly. Taking baths or showers will be a problem, so for cleanliness, you can take an old-fashioned sponge bath. Warm your water if you are able. Remember, this water can be reused. Just boil or purify with the previous methods described to you. Crime will hit at an all-time high. Looting will be one of the major problems. The police and fire departments will be very busy trying to protect as many neighborhoods as possible, so get with your neighbors and start a neighborhood watch to protect yourself and others. Being alone at this time will be very difficult. By cooperating with your neighbors, you can pull as many resources as you have along with special skills to protect each other throughout this crisis. Keep doors locked to protect your valuables. Always ask who's at the door if your doorbell rings or if there is a knock at your door that you didn't expect. Do not take chances. If you must leave your home, inform your neighbors and ask that they watch your home for you until you return, and please return the favor for them. Help each other out if there is a shortage of food or water in a family, and be sure everyone is warm and safe. Above all, keep calm, work together, and share what you can for the common survival of all. In a crisis of this magnitude, remember that all we have is each other. So be smart and start preparing now. It will be the wisest and the least expensive investment that you can ever make for yourself and your family.